Morning, it's finally spring and we're all about the tulips today. You've been probably watching in our front box by our sign, the tulips coming up, and the screen we put up so the deer would need all our tulips. Well, they're finally in bloom and they are beautiful. We saved them from the deer thanks to Paul. I want to share with you today a few tulip tips. There are a couple of old wives' tales, but I think they work. I just read another study from a university garden center, and they said they're really wives' tales, but I've tried them, so I'm going to share them with you. First of all, of course, you need some cut tulips. They can be from your yard or from a florist or wherever you can find some to pick up. Tulips are one of my favorite flowers. These happen to be from the front box out front. There are two things that you need to do. First of all, as soon as you cut the tulips, they need to go into water. So take a bucket with you or something because you don't want air up in the stems. Then, as you're preparing your tulips to go into a vase, it can be any kind of vase. I found this one in the showroom. It has a narrow opening here so that the tulips will be sort of bunched together at the top and not real loose. And of course, if I had more tulips, I'd probably use a wider opening of the vase. But there's a couple of things you can do to your water. One is you can add some kind of soda, lemon lime soda, ginger ale, or whatever, as long as it's not diet, to the water, just a little bit, like maybe a tablespoon or so, depending on how much water you have. And that's supposed to help the tulips have more of a longer life. The other thing that I have found that really works is taking just an ordinary copper penny and putting a copper penny in the bottom of the vase in the water. And what that does for the tulips is it'll keep them from drooping. Tulips continue to grow after they are cut. They'll grow at least another inch, and it's kind of fascinating to watch that because I don't know another flower that continues to grow high after you have cut it. So the next thing you want to do as you're arranging your tulips is take them out of the water that you collected them in and remove any of the leafy material. I had already removed the large leaves from these. And then you're supposed to put them underwater to cut them. And what I read about that is that if you keep the air out of the tulip stem, it helps the tulips to last a little longer and take up more water. So I'm cutting it on an angle underwater, just with a normal pair of scissors. You can use garden clippers or whatever. Now you see my angle cut right there, and then I go ahead and put it in the vase. So I'm going to do this to all of the tulips, and then I'm going to show you one other little tulip trick. Now some of these have kind of short stems, and this was the vase that I had available in the store, so we're just using what we have on hand. There may be another one that might be a little bit more appropriate for the length of the stems of these tulips. I already did cut them on an angle as I trimmed them from the plant, but now I'm also trimming them again, trimming the green leaves off of them, and placing them in my vase. One more thing I'm going to show you. First of all, I'm going to do this before I cut the stem of this because this is kind of a neat trick with a tulip, and I hope it works for me this well today as I show you. You can take and fan back the tulip petals and have a beautiful different look for your tulips. Now I wouldn't do this to all my tulips because I think they're perfectly pretty the way they are, but look how exciting that is if you just wanted to add one of those to your collection. And people say, what kind of tulip is that? So now I'm going to put that under the water, trim it, and I'm going to arrange it in my vase. Now I'm going to let you see the finished product. So happy spring, happy tulip time, and thanks for watching.